Hey y'all, Lily here. I have officially wrapped on the Siren of the French Broad River and am already ready to move on to my next piece of lore, which comes from my buddy Kurt. It is Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Illinois. Let's see. I think it's Midlothian is the name of the city. I'm not 100% certain. You guys know I can't pronounce anything at all, so my mouth only wraps around certain words, and if I haven't heard them before, then it definitely does not like that. But I have 3 books, and this one's actually kind of interesting because, yeah, I have 3 books that all contain information on it, but I don't know that much about it. Like, I've kind of heard it in passing, and I'm sure once I get started on my research, I'll probably see like a TV show that it was featured on at some point in time. But this is known as America's Most Haunted Cemetery. I think there's something like 5 ghosts from what I remember in my quick flip through of my books. So there's a really good chance that we're going to find something interesting on YouTube that I can share with you guys of like people having videos or photos online or something that we can all look at together and decide whether or not they're real. But you guys know how I am about my ghost footage. If you fake it, you better make it look really, really damn good. And you also better have the location marked right. Otherwise, I get really pissy about that. Let's see. According to, what is this? Haunted Heartland. This is in the Chicago area. So if you're like me and don't know, I do have a really big map because I'm a dork and I mark everything. It might take me forever to find it because I'm not gonna look it. Oh. Do we be dorky? Let's be a little dorky. So. Let's see. You guys can tell my books are all kind of askew. It's because I have them all stacked up around me in little piles. I am just a book pile person. Let's see. Let's see if we can look it up on here first so I can find it faster. Let's see, Chicago. F-17. I'm probably going to have to look that up 20 more times, but let's see, 17. Unfortunately, my map is too tiny. We got Chicago right there, but... So, y'all don't judge me for my absolute terrible, terrible geography skills. But I did not know Michigan is right above Indiana. And right over there by Illinois. And Ohio. We're going to Michigan next, so... That was of zero help, other than just proving to me that I don't know where shit is. Alright, but let's see. According to Haunted Heartland, a magic house occasionally appears in a shroud-like mist on the rutted trail leading to the abandoned Bachelor's Grove Cemetery west of Creekwood in Reba Woods Forest Preserve. The house floats into view only rarely. People who have seen the place describe the same scene. A porch swing sways gently on a large... I'm just going to say wooden, I don't know this next word, front porch. And the 2-story house is vaguely Victorian with a faint glow of light seeping through the heavily curtained windows. I really do apologize for my inability to pronounce words. It makes a lot of people laugh, but I for real cannot wrap my mouth around certain things. Let's see. No house has ever been reported to be built on the property, so that's interesting. There's also a ghost light where people say that a blue orb often bounces across the cemetery on clear moonlit nights. Its origins are also unknown. Tombstones have been rearranged on occasion. I wonder when this was put out. Okay, this is the 92 edition, but it was originally done in 85. So, and the reason why I question is because it says here a coven of witches reportedly meets in the cemetery, and the vandalization of the grave markers has been attributed to them. Why are you blaming everything on witches? It could be teens, youths. Let's see. Making sure that this is all right. That is that for this one. Let's see. Haunted America. Y'all are going to laugh at this bookmark. Look at this. It's just a piece of scrapbook paper. So it's like 12 inches long. It's giant. And I'm using it as a bookmark in my Haunted America from Armchair Reader. Alright. This one talks about the origins. This is interesting because I did see something about this online, that people don't really know how it got its name, which, I mean, there's nothing spooky about that, but it's just interesting. Apparently at one point in time, several unmarried men built homes there and lived in the area, but they never got married, so they were just bachelors, which led to it being nicknamed Bachelor's Grove, but also it is thought to be a slightly different spelling of Bachelor's Grove after a family that lived in the area, and the cemetery itself is only about an acre large. There is a pond at the rear of the site, and there are about 200 people who have been buried there. In the 1960s, because of a change in traffic, the cemetery got cut off from a lot of public use. And it just basically became more abandoned. The last burial that took place was in 1965, although I guess people did sprinkle ashes there through the 80s. It's now in a state of disrepair. When was this book put out? Oh, it's 2011, so this isn't that long ago. Because it's surrounded by woods, it is basically attracts a lot of parties, vandalism, and the like. Out of the 200 graves that are on the site, only about 20 or so still have tombstones. This could have changed again because this book is a bit dated, but ooh, that sounded country. Dated. No, ma'am. You don't get sympathy. She's been tearing through the house and trying to blame it on Bazoo, and it's not his fault. He'll be asleep and she just goes tearing through like he's chasing her and he ain't. And then she asked me for sympathy. Alright, so. Let's see. There is a ghost of a woman dressed in white who has been spotted late at night walking among the tombstones and sitting on top of them. It's thought that she is a residual haunting because she seems oblivious to those around her, and that she is replaying a sad time of her life when she visited the grave of her child. And this is the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove. In the early 1990s, a paranormal research group claimed to snap a photo of her. Ooh, hopefully we can find that. Alright, so there's, this one talks about those orbs. Oh god, she just jumped up in her tower and scared the bejesus out of me because I moved my book right at the same time. I'm a very jumpy person. Alright. Back on track. I'm trying to stay focused, you guys. I don't have the most amount of time to do this today. But it's like the only day they're not pressure washing. Well, they're not pressure washing tomorrow, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I have to go to the office. So I'm squirrel brain. I'm getting distracted. Alright. Focus, Lily. Alright. Back to the orbs. People have reported seeing strange orbs of light darting around the cemetery, especially near the algae-covered pond. So we know what causes the orbs, right? Some believe that the pond... Science. Some believe that the pond was used as a makeshift burial ground for Chicago area gangsters, and the lights are the spirits of their victims. Others think that the ghostly lights are related to a legend that many years ago a man plowing a nearby field died when his horse became spooked and ran into the pond, drowning both itself and the man. The spectral farmer and his horse have been witnessed from time to time. Alright, I would be more interested to see the horse and the man more so than the orbs, because again, you know, the whole will-o'-the-wisp, you know, it's usually attributed to swamps, but still the fact that it actually says algae cover just makes me think science. This talks about the Phantom House again. Oh, I like how this finishes up. Okay, so it says if you wish to visit, the cemetery is open every day, but only during daylight hours. The abandoned road is more now of a path through the woods that's well worn to the graveyard. But just remember you're visiting hallowed ground, the final resting place of men, women, and children, and be sure to treat it as such. That is so nice. A lot of people tend to forget that. Ghosts are not respected. You guys always see like my really big cups that I use for drinking my water. I swear I don't drink coffee out of them. I would be bouncing off the walls. These things hold like 20 plus ounces. Alright, and now, let's see, this is the Book of Mysteries of the Unexplained. And you know what I like about it? And look how thick this thing is, but it's super light because the pages are like newspaper. Oh, it's so nice. So let's see if there's anything new here. Again, it just mentions the names. I'm about to be real pissed, y'all. Oh, I am so angry. Oh, this is almost word for word the same. I just bought this book. I'm so angry. Is everything like this? No. So not everything's exactly the same. Basil. No, sir. Little shit has been clawing out my carpet. There's scratching posts all over the apartment, right? Can he use those? No. He's got to claw up at the carpet next to the scratching post. Actually, in this case, it wasn't even over by the scratching post. Alright, well, it makes me feel a little bit better that... Wait. No. Oh, it is. Oh. It's exactly the same. Like, even though some of these stories aren't ones that are in this one, I don't think. Because, yeah, this is America, and this has, like, things like Nessie in it. But literally, word for word. Oh, I am just... You can buy either one. Look, okay. This is the one that I'm angry at. And I lost my place in this other one. And then there's this. Yes, you just heard the sad defeatedness of me saying I lost my place because I got so angry. Fuck. Let's see where I was before. Tangents. All I do is go on tangents. Wait, this shit's got... I appreciate people who have books like this and they put them with an index in the back so I can easily find things. You have Zach Baggins in here like 50 billion times, but not fucking Bachelor's Grove. Ah, it's under cemeteries. I am thoroughly distracted now. I'm suddenly hungry. What else is new? Alright. So, yeah. This one is much older and has the same information as this one. Word for word. Now that I'm flustered and slightly amused with myself, I'm not gonna lie. Slightly. I just realized I like zoomed in on myself by leaning forward. I'm very sorry. Today is an interesting day for me, isn't it? All right. Where do we go from here? Let's make a quick list of the questions that we kind of want to at least get started with. The one animal I have being good is my dog. He's asleep in the chair. And he just looks so cute. I wish you guys could see him. He's all like Superman right now, but on his back. Alright, so we know that we have at least the floating house, the man and his horse. I'll put the orb lights on there. And the Madonna. So we want to see if there's anybody else. floating house. Sorry, my pen just being squirrely. Alright, so we got the floating house, the blue orbs, farmer, and horse ghost, and Madonna of even though the tombstones being like moved around could seem spooky, we're gonna go ahead and chalk that one up to human bullshit. And not worry about trying to debunk it or prove it either way, because as long as people are partying out there or just going out there at night, then it's always going to happen, because people like to keep, you know, things like that alive, so they'll just do it so that way it continues to gain traction. So we do want to know if there's any more activity out there, any more ghosts. Let's see. I'm probably going to have more questions later on, but right now it's just more of that. Because I had a thought and I lost it. Well, it's not so much I lost it, I just don't think it's a good thought. The thought was, if there really were witches meeting out there, does their coven or covens still meet out there or not? But that really shouldn't have much of anything to do with these. All right. Let's see what all we can find. Let me move some stuff around. Got too many books. Too many books, that's funny. Fill you in later. Alrighty. Now it has room to work. Let's see. I've got that already started. One of the things I like to do is try to keep like all my links and shit in a Google Keep like note. Not that it often helps, because there's plenty of times that I go to I just leave everything open and haven't saved my links, and that's when my computer all of a sudden restarts itself or does something weird. But this is neat. There actually is a research center for the spookies. Ooh. They have lots of stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of groves in this area. The first burial. Oh, wait, nope. No? Okay. Oh, there seems to be multiple cemeteries within. Because it says the first burial on the Everdon Cemetery at Bachelor's Grove was that of Eliza Scott in November 1844. But the earliest death date noted in the newspaper says pioneers in peaceful rest, Bachelor's Grove, one of the first cemeteries, lies serene, undisturbed, and that was in the Blue Island Sun Standard, and it was published on August 16th, 1935. It was that of William B. Nichols, who died in 1838. Okay. Sometimes it helps to finish reading this. So, almost 100 years later, they actually posted that. Okay. Alright, this just continues talking more about the size and shape. I get lost in the reading so fast. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a lot of reported attempts at grave openings and robbings and satanic rituals in the 1960s and 70s. Vandalism reached its peak in the 70s. A lot of people believe that the missing gravestones that got stolen during that time period ended up in the pond. But also people think or claim that they were, excuse me, they claim that the grave markers were found in other places, but if they were returned, they just would have been stolen again. The picture that I mentioned in the books. August 10th, 1991. Here's a picture. I'm assuming it's the same one that was mentioned, but of the lady who sits on the grave marker. I just... Having worked with film and having developed my own photos, particularly in black and white, which this one is at the very least uploaded as, I'm not seeing necessarily that it just looks like a lady. There's nothing there that, if it is a ghost, it's a very corporeal ghost. And as grainy as the rest of the photograph is, like there's just a lot of noise. Maybe it was taken at night. I mean, she casts a shadow. Like, you can see the shadow underneath her butt. You can see the shadow on the ground, too. But you guys will end up having to be the judge of that one. Let's see. My cats are tearing through the house. Hickey's asleep still in her tower. But it seems the other two are... Alright. I always laugh when I see the word youth. Youths. Alright. 1 minute. Hey, stop it. You leave her alone. It appears many of these reports have a greater basis in local folklore than verifiable occurrences. Don't tell me that. A lot of the bodies have been moved to different cemeteries. In case you're wondering, no, I'm not whistling. That was not me whistling. I just sing to myself and whatnot. It's talking about the history of the name. Oh, and we reached the end of the page. Let's see. There's just a lot. Ooh, there's a paranormal Google map. That's neat. Let's see. So let's see, we have quite a lot actually. Trying to see if this is just their legend. Or if these actually all are on here. A lot of the colors on there, they are very similar, so trying to see if I got links up. All right, so here are the list of the reported things that are on their Google map. Humanoid figures, light anomalies, I can't talk. Plasma vapor, is that like a ghost fart? Ball of light, electronic interference, phantom automobile. That would be interesting to see. Is it just one occurrence of that? Cold spot, psychic encounter, phantom horse, which wouldn't the horse be near the pond, but it seems to be kind of far away. Audible anomaly. I can't say that word. Electronic voice phenomenon, EVP. Phantom human. How is that different than a humanoid figure? Because I need better explanations for these. Animal reaction, black anomaly. If I wasn't recording, I could say it right, I guarantee you. Phantom house. It only pops up once on here. Psychic encounters pop up more. Well, I'm not gonna talk about that. All right, phantom house. Camera malfunction. Phantom dog. White anomaly. So, I mean, it appears there's a handful, or more than a handful, of sightings. So, I like this. If you wish to reference any of the information, we kindly ask that you provide a URL back to your source. I do that. I always do that. Right. This will be a long read. So it seems there is additionally, let's see, the blue light, the caretaker, despairing house, farmer and horse, Madonna, phantom dog, red light, the hook, and yellow man. So it's like Hookman. Okie dokie, artichoke. What's next? I'm looking at the research guide, and it has paranormal research guide for this. It has the lights, but it's just looks like an out of focus photo. It's a 41-page read, so it won't take me long to read through it. I'll do that when I'm not talking to y'all. And here's a photo again of the lady that just proved to me that's not just a lady sitting there. Like, okay, in this case, I'm quick to dismiss it because if I went there and I saw the lady, the Madonna, like she's in a white dress and everything. If I saw her, would she look like this? Or would she look different? If I got a photo, would she look like this? I don't really know ghosts to change their clothes. But it just, to me, doesn't look like a photo of an apparition. I mean, it very much looks like a lady sitting there. And fairly modern clothes, too, for the 90s. Do not make me fuss at you again, Bazoo. So, okay, this is trying to claim the origins of Hookman. And then you have Yellow Man. I already was having fucking Curious George thoughts in my head, but it says it was a yellow figure, a man with a hat. These are some interesting stories of different accounts that I do want to sit down and read. Let's see. There's a picture of something. I think it's supposed to be the orbs of light, but it was taken with an old digital camera, which kind of tells you like it's not like the best looking resolution. Sorry, that is just my head was like half cut off. Not that I care, but just terrible way for you guys just to have to see my forehead. So, and then there's this other one that, oh God, I think it's supposed to be like the yellow light or one of the lights. Maybe the red, I don't know. But it's like, I hate to say it's not real, but I mean, I can do the same shit with a fucking lighter and a long exposure time. Like, thus far, I am unimpressed by the captures. I'd be more interested to actually read what people said, simply because it's just, the photos to me aren't anything worth writing home about, or worth writing about in general. Are you trying to be a terror? No? What? I know, I started talking to you. I turned your on button on. Or your, yeah, whatever. You can't jump up here, buddy. There's no room. Bazu says hi. Alright. He's a chatty Cathy. I hate that like everything's basically done in the book, but let's see. They do have a YouTube channel. Updated as recently as 5 months ago. So it says they do have a playlist of their videos. Let's look at the lady in white. Fast forward. I may have to watch this with sound later on because definitely not seeing what they're talking about. Kazoo, do you really have to use both litter boxes? Can't just pee in one, he's got to do them both. Why is there so much black screen on this? Just black screen. Oh my goodness. Unhelpful. One of these is entitled "It Follows You Home." Let's see. I wish my subtitles would stay on every single time. This is just a telling of they keep using the same image for things, but I'm not actually seeing anything. Please quit digging to China, buddy. So I'm gonna stop and clean the shit box behind me. Thanks, cat. But no, I'm gonna stop and I want to watch some of these videos. He is just tearing up through the house now. He is apparently lighter. Do you mind, buddy? Yes, I know. You're like 10 pounds lighter because you pooped. Oh my goodness. Every time. Every time. Tears of the house. Stop. He's just literally peering around the corner at me with his big old eyes because he wants to play. I'm getting distracted by my cat. I'm gonna stop. I do have a bunch of now YouTube videos that I've just found that I want to watch and see what they have to say. I want to read this little 41-page book with the stories and the history. And we're gonna go from there. I don't know when I'll be back to recording again because I have to go to the office tomorrow, and then at least one day next week I'm going to the office and they're going to be pressure washing. All of my videos are really going to depend on when I have to be at work and when they're pressure washing the buildings. So we're going to see, and who knows, maybe we'll find something really interesting and cool with this one that I can't just look at and be like, oh, I'm a photographer and I know how they did that. Because guess what, guys? I'm a photographer and I know how they did that. Third generation, by the way. So, you know, I know my shit. But anywho, I will be back later with hopefully cats not being insane and just more things to share with y'all. So I'll talk to you later.